Hello, everyone. Don't catch that dial as we here on the Pro Wrestling Show do the NXT War Games for NXT War Games coming up this tonight. I mean tonight, NXT War Games right here. NXT War Games. We'll have the rundown to predict the outcome for everything War Games on this live edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. Plus, we'll have little hot topics on what's going on with Renee Young, John Moxley, news of that nature, and many more. As we get set for the NXT War Games, predict the outcome starts right now after the countdown. You know what time it is. It's that time as we talk about the NXT War Games. You know what I mean? NXT War Games coming tonight on the WWE Network. You see right there, NXT War Games to take over special for the WWE Network. We're going to have a whole rundown of matches, previews, and my predictions on predict the outcome. But first things first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe and call a friend, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. You won't be missing a beat here on the Pro Wrestling Show, on this live edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. Been going live, so thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. Predict the outcome for NXT War Games right here. NXT War Games. You remember the back in the day, War Games. Then we begin the War Games. War Games indeed. All right, we got a series of matches to get through. But let's get to one of the first matches that was kind of odd, and many people didn't see this coming, as I want to talk about the NXT North American Championship between Damian Priest, and you see right here, Damian Priest, Leon Ruff, the unlikely champion, and Johnny Gargano, the former two-time North American champion. They will get on in a triple threat match for the championship tonight. And don't be forgetting that they will probably start the show with this match with them because they're two pure wrestlers. Johnny Gargano, one hell of a wrestler. Damian Priest, one hell of a wrestler. But this week on NXT was this right here. Johnny Gargano was watching a bird's eye view of the match between Damian Priest, right here, Damian Priest and Leo Ruff, an unlikely team, got together against La Family. I like to say that. As John Gargano was watching on, you see all this match. You see right here, Priest with offensive maneuvers left and right. Even the cruiserweight, thought he was the cruiserweight champion, but I guess not. Well, he took it to Damian Priest, and then Leo Ruff, unlikely, did his thing. They won the match. They turned their attention to Johnny Gargano. So it's going to be sort of, what's going to happen between these three men competing for the championship match. So I'm trying to think. If I'm a betting man, Leo Ruff, he's been an unlikely champion for a long time. So I don't see Leo Ruff winning this match. I want to say, if I'm a betting person, I want to say Johnny Gargano might pull this thing off because he's been strategizing a little bit. So look for Johnny Gargano to win this match and become the new North American champion. So Johnny Gargano with that in mind. Also, a scrap match between Cameron Grimes versus Dexter Lumis. This been boiling for months now. Now, this all started at Halloween Havoc, as you recall, when Cameron Grimes went against Dexter Lumis in some little horror match. And it was like cinematic, and they was trying to make it appealing. And they trying to make it seem like Cameron Grimes is getting hunted by Dexter Lumis. And maybe so. He might be. He might be. Well, this earlier this week too, we got the footage. Well, we don't have it. We don't have it. Well, it's been going back and forth playing a little mind games and stuff with Cameron Grimes about him being the top dog. So I'm gonna say Cameron Grimes will win this match, but he's got to get that monkey out his back on what had happened to him this past week. So look for Cameron Grimes to defeat Damian Dexter Loomis and put this thing to bed. Put this thing to bed, all right. Also, we'll have two War Game matches, two War Games matches this week too. You know, War Games been synonymous with NWA and WCW with the pay-per-views from the Four Horsemen against Dusty Rhodes and his team. Well, the Undisputed Era and the NXT era of War Games have been the last two, at least last three War Games, and they have a losing streak. Could they kind of break that streak coming forward? When they in the War Games, the team of the Undisputed Era against the team of the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roger Strong, Bobby Fish. They take on the team of Pat Mcfaee, Pete Dunne, Oni Lorcan, and Danny Burch. So this men's War Games match will be telling on who's got the upper advantage in the match. And the upper advantage this week, they had the Undisputed Era used to have the upper advantage. Now they don't have the upper advantage. So now going forward, what that lead to and what they entail to. So, Pat McAfee and Adam Cole had that phenomenal match this past summer. So they wanted to continue on with their streak. And then you got Pete Dunne coming back from an injury. So I'm going to say the Undisputed Era will win this match. So look for Undisputed Era to win and shut up Pat McAfee for good, because this thing has been embroiled for about at least months now, and it just gets more like. And I heard like on Cornette's show podcast, like somebody's gonna turn on somebody. So I don't know if that's the fact. So these these 8 men, head into battle for War Games in that hellacious War Games cage. Is going to be one cage. So they're going to have to settle their differences in War Games coming on the WWE Network. All right. All right. All right. And speaking of that, the women's War Games match has a new wrinkle to it as well, as it's Team Candice featuring Candice LeRae with her teammate Chauncey, Tony Storm, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez takes on the team of Team Chauncey with Chauncey Blackheart, captain, with her cohort Io Shirai, the NXT Women's Champion, Ember Moon, former NXT Women's Champion, and another former Women's NXT Champion, Rhea Ripley. So these 8 lovely women get into the cage and they battle out. Now, this past week, like I said, Team Candice and Team Io, not the Team Candice, Team Chauncey, this past week right there. But, this past week, Chauncey Blackheart went fight for a team against Raquel Gonzalez for the advantage. Well, I think Team Chauncey had the advantage. So you got to wonder, like, who's going to be leaving War Games with something? So, with the victory. My thing is, I believe Team Chauncey Blackheart going to win, because you got to have the good girls win. Chauncey got 3 former NXT Women's Champions in the corner, so she's good to go, and she's got that momentum going forward. So look for that. Look for that when we had that picture. All right. So we're gonna be watching War Games. It was a short War Games, and another forgot to mention, honorable mention. Now we know that it hasn't been announced, but maybe it has. Could what's his name? I forgot his name. Tommaso Ciampa go against Timothy Thatcher. That's a match. If it happens tonight, I can see Tommaso Ciampa beating up Timothy Thatcher for good. So look for that. So that's all. It's been a quick 10 minutes. And let's get to a little hot topics right quick. We just found out Renee Young and Jon Moxley are expecting a baby girl. So congratulations in order to Renee Young and Jon Moxley. I'm expecting their first baby girl. And we talked about the news about Sting debuting in AEW, which that was Stinger. Sting will appear on AEW this week, and he will be interviewed by Tony Schiavone, and Tony Schiavone will have that exclusive interview with Sting on returning back to TNT within a 20-year absence. Sting is back. Sting has went all over the world since then, leaving 20 years, leaving when WWF closed down. He went to TNA. He went to WWE finally. He didn't like it there, so now he's back where he's belong. On TNT with a newfound home in AEW. And Pat Patterson, WWE Hall of Famer, passed away from liver failure. Correctional report. We said cancer, but it was liver failure. So Pat Patterson had mix of dementia and liver failure. So the WWE Hall of Fame will be missed. The fall of the Royal Rumble. You know they're gonna dedicate the Royal Rumble to this next month's Royal Rumble to him. No question about it. All right. So thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I've been your host, Kendrick Dixon. So long, and we're gonna watch NXT Takeover War Game, and you know what I mean, War Game. The War Games have begun. We'll see you for the Pro Wrestling Show. I've been your host, Kendrick Dixon. We'll see you at NXT War Games. War Games. See you later.